Hello, thank you for listening to my YouTube channel, and also thank you for liking and subscribing below. Today, I wanted to talk about resistance so we can get a better understanding of what it really feels like and what does it really mean. Resistance is actually a sign that you're on the right track, that there's something that you want in your life, and your consciousness needs to expand beyond the resistance. And the resistance is there to give you an idea where you need to expand your consciousness. For example, today on the radio show, it's Thursday. This is when I make my YouTube videos. And I was already live on the radio and I was answering callers' questions. And one of the first callers, if not the first one, if I recall, I spent a fair amount of time with her because she was actually having resistance about something that's problematic for a lot of people on Earth. She wanted to have work in her life. That's Charles. He just jumped on the chair. Wanted to have work in her life that was purposeful for her and, of course, fulfilling for her as an individual. And she was pretty sure she knew what area of her life it needed to work on. I didn't feel exactly the same way that she did about that, which could have triggered her a little bit, because in the conversation, she talked about how she's really devoted a lot of time to this and that she's been strenuously working diligently to make things happen in this one love that she has. And then I'm going, I'm not sure that's it. I don't really feel it for you. That could push her buttons right in that moment. But it wasn't till we were coming towards the end of the conversation when I said, one of the things that isn't helpful in the universe is when you put a lot of energy into something out of like longing and forcefulness. Like if someone wants a partner and they're on every dating site going on, 20, 30 dates a week, coffee dates, of course, trying to meet someone, that's a sign that you're in resistance, that you're in desperation, that you're pushing, that you're longing. And so that means that what you're doing isn't actually in alignment because it's creating uncomfortable feelings. Like she's exhausted from putting so much effort into this one area of love that she has, that she thinks she's supposed to have a career in. And then my words created some resistance, and you could feel how annoyed she was with me. When you come up with resistance, and it's going to feel annoying, like, oh, I don't like that, or that makes me uncomfortable, or people can feel ashamed. They can get embarrassed and blush, when they're coming up to something that they have resistance about. And resistance doesn't mean walk away, stop, this is the wrong way that you're going. Resistant means, come here. The answer's through here. The answer is through this area that you don't want to look at, that you're uncomfortable with, that you wish would go away, or you wish no one would ever say that to you. That thing that makes you go, that's not true, or I don't like that, or that doesn't make any sense, or whatever. That's a sign of resistance. Remember, resistance is a good sign. So what can help an individual move through it, because eventually most people will move through their resistance, but it could take years. Especially if you're fighting against it. But once you understand the concept of what resistance feels like, and you can kind of look back at previous times in your life where you were resistant and you didn't get curious about that thing that's irritating you. Or I was a child, people suggested I should go into nursing. And I thought, that is just a misogynistic, gender, identifying career, that all women should be nurses and teachers. I never thought for a moment until I was in my 30s that I should consider nursing. And I even had an opportunity when I started college. All of the friends that I had at the college that I went to were in the nursing program and were encouraging me to take classes with them. And I was very resistant towards it. So once you have either experienced what I just described and you're on the other side of it and you go, oh yeah, I know what that resistance feeling is. Or if you aren't sure what that is, pay attention to those moments where you just go, I don't like that, or how could you say that, or that's wrong. Notice as soon as you can. Could even be the next day, or moments later, or hours later, or weeks later, or a year later. The soonest you can recognize that you're in resistance, then you can get curious about it. Like, oh, that thing, every time someone brings that up, I feel annoyed. I feel frustrated. I'm disappointed in them, or I'm embarrassed, or I feel shy, or it doesn't make any sense. Then I want you to get curious about that thing. Okay? The sooner you can get curious about it, the quicker you're going to move the resistance, the faster you're going to be able to gain the consciousness that you need about the experience. Like the woman I was talking to today, who's probably still annoyed with me, and I don't blame her. In fact, I actually like it when I hit some resistance point with someone. It's not something I desire in every session because it's not always comfortable for either of us. But when it happens, I'm like, ooh, we're on the right track. And it also makes me feel like she's close. She's closer than she thinks. She's annoyed and frustrated, and she doesn't like anything that I said, but she's close because we're hitting it pretty quickly. Even when we're live on the air and she's, we couldn't see her, but feels visibly annoyed by the sound of her voice, and she wants to hang up really quickly. I know that we're getting close and that perhaps she'll get curious very soon about her resistance, which is going to open up a whole new world of information. So just beyond the resistance, and sometimes you just have to tiptoe into it. You don't have to run into it for miles and miles or weeks or years. As soon as you start to get curious about the resistance, that people have been saying this to me all my life. I don't like it. I find it very annoying, but maybe I'm going to get curious about it. Then you're going to get the information that the universe wants to give you, that your higher self wants to give you, that your cellular memory is holding in your body, that will set you free and help you to progress more into your natural gifts and talents, or into a wonderful love match, or fantastic wealth that you want to have in your life, or an enormously, incredibly powerful, healthy body. So resistance is a sign, and it's a good one. And share stories with me if you have any about when you recognize your resistance, or how you're going to get curious about it in the future. I'd love to know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.